Should SNL have women portray Trump's entire cabinet? That's the question that's been floating around social media. Following Melissa McCarthy as Sean Spicer, so good. So Huffington Post took it upon themselves to do some casting. We're gonna look at all their casting choices. It's really good, but first thoughts, 5 words or less.
Everything's coming up rosy.
Trump's scared of lady parts.
Do it.
I can't wait. Okay, so let's look at the casting choices. I really hope that some of these come to fruition because I think they did a really good job. Melissa McCarthy. Now, we were just talking about this. Do we know if Melissa McCarthy as Sean Spicer is confirmed she'll do additional appearances like Alec Baldwin has done regarding Trump?
I don't know if they've made a statement, but I think it would be really silly if they didn't bring her back. I think we can assume that because it was such a success and it went viral that they're definitely going to bring her back. And he's going to be doing more press conferences. Like, the crazy has just started.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, he came out, Donald Trump's team is saying that basically he was so rattled because it was a woman that was playing him. And so I think they have to double down. I think they have to get in on that.
Yeah. You can't prove that it was because it was a woman, but it's a great opening. I just want people to be like, because it was a woman, it was rattling. It's weird. It's, for me, what's more shocking is like they've been doing it to Trump for a very long time. And he's been like lashing back, but he's never said that they portray him as weak. He's saying it's a crappy rendition. But when someone else in his cabinet is portrayed as weak in his mind, he's like, I don't like my people being portrayed as weak. It's like, dude, the Avengers are assembling to just be like, these are the famous people who are super talented, who are saying that you suck, and so does everyone in your cabinet.
Yes, okay, so let's look at some of the other casting choices. Now this one, Rosie O'Donnell, she tweeted it. She said she wants to portray Bannon, so I think that might happen.
I have a dream about what I want this to be, because you know that they've already brought out Steve Bannon, but they have him in sort of like a Grim Reaper costume.
Which is great.
As like a with like a mask. And what I want them, what my dream would be is that they have the same sort of like very sinister, almost like Darth Vader-esque voice. Yeah. And then he like takes off the mask and it's Rosie O'Donnell. I think as Steve Bannon. I think that would be brilliant. And there are so many rumors flying with regards to Rosie joining SNL and playing Steve Bannon because you know that Trump hates her. Like, I mean, viciously hates her. It's really even hard to track exactly what started and how this got so ugly, but she needs to get on SNL because that would drive him crazy.
I think theirs was like the first Twitter feud back in like 2006.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been going on for years, a decade. Okay, then we have Rachel Dratch as Reince Priebus.
So
good. I would love to see this. I would love to see this.
She's so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Debbie Downer approach is like, because Reince Priebus is just like always so tired. He's like, I've been dealing with this for years.
And even when he agrees with something, he's always shaking his head no. He's like he has no nexus. Like, what are you gonna do?
I thought they nailed that casting choice. Then we have Kristen Wiig as Jared Kushner. Now, but she also, I was trying to think that that was a different arc where somebody else had her portraying another cabinet member, but yeah, Jared Kushner.
Oh God, he's such like a soft, he's got such a softness about him, Kushner. It's disconcerting.
Yeah.
Because he's like 35.
Right.
But he's just like, so like, someday the beard's gonna come in.
Okay. Aww. Betty White is Jeff Sessions. Now, do we think that Betty White would portray Jeff Sessions? Do you think that she would be on board?
I don't know, because she did that interview, I think it was with Katie Couric, where she was basically like, yeah, the world's kind of like sucking right now, but you just gotta stay positive and keep going and like find the silver lining and things. So I don't know if she would be in on that, because she's trying to,
it's a good casting
take that positive approach.
She does come from like that Hollywood, like that era of Hollywood where they do that, and it's just like, hey, forget that. Jokes.
Show business.
Yeah. She was like petting a sloth while talking about it. Like, it was very bizarre.
I mean, that is true, but she is so tight with the SNL audience. And remember, they brought her on because of a Facebook petition. And I think that she would be open to the conversation because it's from SNL. I think if it was a different show, maybe like if Conan reached out to her, but because she has this relationship with SNL where they've really taken care of each other and they brought in these amazing ratings, and she was giving these like, Tina Fey came back on when she did her live show. I think she would consider it for SNL. If everyone's on board, I think more like
amazing.
If you get like 3 or 4 of them to do it, I think more and more women will come on board.
I agree. And then your favorite, Ellen DeGeneres is Mike Pence.
Come on.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Love it.
kind of great.
And then finally, they have Meryl Streep as Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Oh my god.
She did it. She did a Kiss Me Kate thing in the Central Park where she was Donald Trump.
And she had his whole demeanor and
She
voice.
was wearing like a pillow under her shirt and was dressed like that with a. I couldn't find video on it, but it's just like
know if she can,
Shakespeare in the Park kind of deal.
Okay, because I would love to see like what she would do with the voice and things like that and his demeanor.
And then, if she nails it, then he can't say that she's the most overrated actress anymore.
I know. And then they gave us a bonus. Amy Poehler is Ivanka Trump.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they've done Ivanka Trump, but they've had Emily Blunt played her when they did Melania Aid or whatever. And then they've had other actresses play Ivanka, but they haven't had a reoccurring role. I think only because Ivanka, as of yet, hasn't had sort of that cringeworthy interview moment, really.
Right.
She had the interview where she said, of course, she's not going to be the first lady, but she hasn't really had a moment that captured the public attention. She sort of stayed out of it and let her father do all the tweeting.
Well, it's like I think you would present Ivanka as a sympathetic character, the one who's like, she seems to be the one that most people positively associate, despite what happened in like the Nordstrom sales aspect. But people kind of are like, oh my God, your dad's a monster. How do you do it?
Yeah.
And so you
People
can just
favor
have
her.
like that. She could be the straight man who's walking around being like, I am so sad that I know these people.
Yes. And then we did forget one, Janine Garofalo as Stephen Mnuchin. Let's look at that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, though he is John Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Valid
saying.
point.
But man, that would be awesome.
But I love the idea of having an all-female cast play his Catwoman.
I love it.
I think that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Do you think it'll happen?
For the season finale.
Do you think it'll happen?
I think for the season finale, it's a great idea.
I think we're going to see it more and more, and then I think for the season finale, we'll see some sort of a big shakeup. I definitely think that SNL knows that in times where everyone's feeling really on edge and afraid, that humor is so cathartic, and that's why they're seeing some of the best ratings that they've had. You said in 24 years.
That's
Brett.
what I read somewhere, but
think
then
you're
again,
right.
I might be utterly wrong.
Yeah.
But also having that great audience is one thing, and having people kind of bond over this is great. But the other component of it is that they know that the entire Trump administration is watching it. So they have a very captive audience in the White House as well.
Also, there's a difference between Donald Trump and how he can be portrayed on SNL and all these cabinet members and how they can be portrayed on SNL. Because Donald Trump's been acted out on SNL since 1989 or something like that. So you're having new people put their spin on him. The thing is, like, a lot of people now know Sean Spicer, not from his press conferences, but just from Melissa McCarthy's portrayal, the same way that people thought the quotes that they remember from Sarah Palin were told by Sarah Palin. They actually came from Tina Fey. Like, I can see Russia from my house.
Right.
So that's where it's the most powerful. If it's straight up funny, and the first time you're getting in there with the average viewer, so that you ruin the perception of these cabinet members forever because they just know them from SNL.
Yeah, good point. All right, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. We'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.